Hello and welcome to the second in our Tools for Schools staff wellbeing videos on the key ways of coping. Today we're going to be having a look at grounding. We're going to briefly look at what grounding is and then go through two simple ways that you can try out grounding for yourself. What is grounding then? Well, the purpose of grounding is to help us get out of our heads and into our bodies. It gives us a chance to step back from getting caught up in our thoughts and emotions by instead turning our attention into what's really happening around us. Grounding is particularly useful for dealing with panicky and anxious thoughts and feelings. When we feel this way, our body tends to tense up and our mind can start generating lots of what-if thoughts. By grounding ourselves, we're almost reassuring and calming down our mind by replacing our what-if thoughts by thoughts of what is happening. Grounding can also help when we're feeling disassociated or spaced out for the same reasons. It connects us back into our environment. Grounding is fairly easy to try and also has the advantage of being something that we can do quickly and in some cases without others knowing. This makes it a great tool for use in classroom and school settings. One of the easiest ways to go about grounding is focusing on our five senses. A frequent example we use is the countdown method. When you next start to notice your attention turning internal and onto those panicky and anxious thoughts and feelings, try to interrupt it by finding 5 things that you can see in the room around you. Then focus on 4 things that you can hear, maybe 3 things that you can feel, 2 different things that you can smell, and finally 1 thing that you can taste. These can be very simple little things around you. Maybe you see the clock on the wall or smell what your clothes smell like. The importance is to really try and focus your attention on the details of what your senses are picking up before you move on to the next thing. Focus on the shapes and the colors, the volume or the pitch, the different textures or the weight of what you're feeling, maybe the different intensities of the smells and tastes. As previously mentioned, this way of grounding can be done just about anywhere. And in fact, it's something that we recommend for young people that we support to try out during lesson time. So we believe staff members in that environment could really benefit from it as well. You can obviously rearrange the order if that suits you. And if you only have a little time, just try and focus on one of the senses. And again, really focusing your attention on those details. The next technique we're going to quickly look at is one that we can use when we have a little bit more time to ourselves, maybe during a break or a lunch, or when we've got some free time just after work. It's more focused about having us take notice of the sensations that we can feel in our bodies, but in the same way, it's about grounding and turning away from that emotional side for a second. For this, you want to firstly sit comfortably in your chair with your feet pressed against the floor. Then try to focus on your breathing, taking slow, deliberate breaths, and try to keep that pattern breathing in for 7 seconds and then out for 11 seconds. Try to keep that rhythm steady as we go on. Now, start by pushing your feet hard down into the ground just for a couple of seconds and then slowly relaxing them. Really try to take notice again of how that feels, not just in your feet, but how it feels all the way up your legs. Try putting that same amount of attention into all the things we're going to be doing for the rest of this exercise. Make your way up your body doing the same thing, tensing and relaxing muscles, and really absorbing your attention into how that feels, all while maintaining that slow and steady breathing. Maybe you want to start with scrunching and releasing your toes, then up to the muscles in your legs, your stomach, your shoulders, maybe your arms and hands, then finally scrunching and releasing all those face muscles. Once you finish with that, try to sit in that relaxed space for a while, with your focus returning to that breathing pattern. You may be interrupted by some thoughts, and that's completely okay and natural. Try not to rush them out of your head quickly. Instead, try and acknowledge them, notice that they're there, and then let it fade away slowly and return your focus to that breathing. That same thought might return or might be replaced with another one. And again, that's totally fine. Try to accept it again, notice it, but just let it calmly move along and return that focus to the breathing. When you're ready to wrap up, take 1 big breath in, tensing up all those muscles we did before, and then slowly relax and breathe out. Hopefully that hasn't left you feeling too sleepy. Once you feel that you've grounded yourself, check back in with that emotional side that we've been putting to one side for these exercises. Have a think about what's changed, maybe what's calmed down. This is a great relaxation technique, but the key of it that we're looking at today is how it can be used to ground us, with the real attention that we're putting into what our body is feeling, and not letting our attention be distracted or focused on those different thoughts or feelings. With those two techniques, one that can be quickly used at any time, and one where we have an extra few minutes to help calm ourselves down, we've already begun to expand our toolkit of being able to help ground ourselves and take back control from those worrying thoughts and feelings. Over the next week, give them a try, and of course, feel free to tweak them as you're going along to make them as comfortable and suitable as they can be for you. If you'd like any more information or support around managing how you're feeling or just your mental health in general, please do reach out to us at Newport Mind. And we'll be back soon with our third video in this series, focusing on emotional release. Thanks very much for watching.